Welcome back to K Sports Sunday here at YBA, and we come back with the Red Sox and the Angels. Now, due to the remnants of Tropical Storm Andrea, we could not get a Friday game in. So we had a doubleheader, and here are the highlights from this past Sunday. Here's Daniel Nava with a shot into right field. That's obviously going to score Jacoby, fast as lightning, and the Red Sox take the lead, actually tie the game 1-1. Now here's David Ortiz with the score still 1-1. He hits a really high ball, but it's not going to matter because Mike Trout's just going to grab it. But no, wait a minute. He lets it go? David Ortiz, 3-run home run, and the Sox are in the lead. Now here's a fly ball by Alberto Callaspo into right field. It is gone, and that makes it a 2-run lead. Now we have Jacoby Ellsbury here with the shot into right field, and he's going to have a base hit. That'll be some more. That's an RBI triple there, and he loses his helmet in the process. The score is now 5-2 Red Sox. Seems like they're dominating. Now here's Jared Saltalamacchia. Boom! Thanks for coming into deep center field. Trout is just going to watch that one. He's not going to snag that. And that is a home run, which makes it 6-3. It would be academic there. And here's Mike Carp once again on the very next pitch. Same location, same right center field. Back-to-back home runs for the Sox. Makes it 7-3. And the fan is happy about that one. Joe Blanton, not so happy. It would be academic from there. Sox win. Actually, they're currently... they've just been dominating the Angels. And guys, it seems like the Sox are back and forth this season. Do you think we saw the good side and what we're going to see in the future?
Definitely the good side. Some takeaways. Every starter for the Red Sox got at least one hit in this game, which just shows how balanced of a team they are. And other good takeaways, Ryan Dempster was very solid. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts, I believe. So this is a balanced Red Sox team, which was the issue last year. They were not balanced. They just had, 2 or 3 really good guys, but we've seen that does not work in baseball. And bring in guys like Mike Carp, Shane Victorino, Johnny Gomes, they have all made impacts for the Red Sox in a positive way.
And I think today was an example of the good team, as you said. Ortiz, what a season he's having ever since he came back. I think, 13 homers now?
Something like that.
Yeah,
I know, it's been amazing.
We got Saltalamacchia and Carp. I think Saltalamacchia. I'm a hockey guy, and that's a hell of a name. That's a hell of a name. I mean, that's saying something coming from a hockey guy. But he's tearing it up also. I think he got 2 home runs, if I'm not mistaken. 2 home runs, and I think the Red Sox are having a fantastic season.
Well, definitely, it's better than last season, and you saw
Bobby V. There you go.
No Bobby V. And we were talking about, you saw the highlight of Ortiz hitting the 3-run home run. You would think that the amazing outfielder that Mike Trout is, he would have a chance, but he and Hamilton just let that go in the bullpen, and I had to ask, could the game have turned out differently if Trout did try or at least make that catch?
Well, my reaction to that play was, Angels, where is your outfield? They had to make up their minds. They're like, oh, you want to get it? You want to get it? Oh, no, you'll get it? No, you can't do that. Indecision does not work in baseball or in any sport for that matter.
Yeah, certainly. It gave the Red Sox a big lead and really turned the tide at that point, although we saw Carp and Saltalamacchia hitting back-to-back home runs, so I don't know that it really would have made that much of a difference, but it's unfortunate for the Angels. They just really have been struggling. Albert Pujols is hitting .240. They signed Josh Hamilton for $25 million, a 5-year deal. He's hitting, I want to say, like .227, so it's just another example. We've seen the Dodgers, the Marlins, the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and the Angels, 5 teams in the past 4 seasons trying to build star power, and it's not worked. The only reason anyone's talking good things about the Dodgers is Yasiel Puig, who had 4 home runs in his first 5 games and has thrown out 2 guys, one guy at first, one guy at third from center field from the warning track, 300 feet. A lot of people comparing him to Bo Jackson, and a lot of people thought if it wasn't from Cuba, he would have been a football player.
Yeah, and you go back to the superstar power of these teams. It seems that everyone has high expectations, but the expectations resulting in very low. So, Jason, I gotta ask, we've had all the superstar power on the team. What's been the problem?
Well, baseball is a team sport. You need pitching, you need fielding, or people would call it defense, and you need hitting. When you just have 2 or 3 guys like Pujols or Hamilton, will use the Angels, and Mike Trout, the other guys like Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, they are assuming that Pujols and Hamilton and Trout are going to hit, 350, 40 home runs each, 120 RBIs. So Ibar, Kendrick, Chris Iannetta, guys like that who are capable of producing things, don't try their best because they have become too dependent on the stars. The stars, there's too much pressure for them in the clubhouse. They don't produce, and then you have Kendrick, Ibar, guys like that. They don't produce, and then you end up having nobody. You don't have anybody producing, and when your team's team's average is 250, you are not going to win very many games in Major League Baseball.
And for the Red Sox, the absolute fails of Adrian Gonzalez and Carl Crawford. They were supposed to make good numbers for the Red Sox. Did not happen. It was one of the most epic fails I've ever witnessed in my life.
And while we're staying on the track of baseball, Jason, we go to your Mets when they were facing the Marlins earlier. Why don't you give us the details on that?
Well, after a 20-inning marathon where Matt Harvey pitched very well, an RBI single in the top of the 20th inning, Mets lost 2-1 in 20 innings to the Miami Marlins. Now, a fan shared how upset he was.
Speechless again. This team is so pitiful, it's not even funny. You can score 10 with your worst pitcher in your rotation, yet when you have Harvey on the mound, you can barely score. You kidding me? I am so speechless with this team. I am so ticked.
Well, that was definitely funny, and I think, Jason, every Met fan was reacting that way.
Yes, but
I just gotta ask, what do you think was the cause of that fan's reaction, basically the game-wise? Why did the Mets blow it?
Well, they were 0 for 19 in runners in scoring position. This is a young team. Pretty much the guys who should be in AAA are up in the big leagues because, well, only about 1/3 of their payroll is actually on the active roster, whether it's guys who are injured or on other teams, like Jason Bay with the Seattle Mariners. But if you're that upset, then don't root for the Mets. Root for the Yankees. They're 10 games above 500. So I think if you're that upset, then root for another team. And this Mets team, they are borderline. They easily could be 500 instead of 12 games under 500. They just got to execute in late innings. And again, young players are not going to. And Ike Davis just got sent down to the minors. Who is going to play first base? That's a good question. Justin Turner, Lucas Duda, guys who can play all around. Then you might see Davis, Baxter, and Carson all getting sent down. Might be implications of them bringing up Zach Wheeler, who they acquired in a trade, sending Angel Pagan to the Giants. They are expecting Wheeler to make one more start in AAA and then bring him up. Carson is a relief pitcher. Baxter's been struggling. He's a backup outfielder, so you might see a guy like Duda or Turner playing first base. Then you might see Newman Heights moving into the outfield. Is what I can think of, unless there's someone else who they bring up. They brought up a guy named Lagares, who's been doing very well. So I don't know what this means for the Mets. I'm very surprised about Ike Davis, though.
Yeah, it seems like that's basically their star power. And Jason, I know you're a big fan of the Mets, and I know you follow them greatly. What does this do for the Mets? Does it make them better, or does it make them worse?
I'm not sure because I don't know who is going to take over in first base. I mean, Ike Davis has really been struggling, but David Wright, who was named the captain, he needs to step up. And I mean, your team cannot be against the Marlins at home, 0 for 19 with runners in scoring position. Or runners on base. You cannot do that. It's unfortunate. And I mean, granted, one of them, I'll give them 0 for 18 because one of them, Sean Markham. And after Andrea rained out the Mets and the Marlins, Jose Fernandez threw 93 pitches in that game yesterday, and Sean Markham, who was supposed to start for the Mets, 105 pitches. And they lost, I believe they lost another extra inning game today to the Marlins, which is probably why they sent down Ike Davis. But again, I don't know who can play first base. I really don't know that they have any backup first baseman unless they're planning to call someone up from AAA. So I'm very surprised about this, but I guess this team is desperate when they're 12 and 19 at home, it's like 23 and 35 on the year, and in a mediocre AL East, with the exception of the Braves. This is a Mets team that really wants to try to compete.
All right, and now we're going to go to our second guest, who's going to join us via Skype, is Matt McCarthy. Matt, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Doing good. Welcome to K Sports Sunday. I'm Joe Brayman you're talking to right now. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a beautiful day here in Portland. Just finished up a game and just having a nice weekend.
All right, and the first question we have for you, we know you do radio radio commentary for the Portland Sea Dogs, and we got to ask, how are the Sea Dogs doing this year?
They got off to a great start. They had the best record in the Eastern League for a while, really right out of the gate. They have not been playing good ball as of late. They coming into today's game, they dropped 19 out of their last 32. But they're still just 4.5 games out of first place in the Eastern League, Eastern Division. So, you know, they've been playing really good ball all year. They kind of fell into a bit of a slump as of late, but it's been a fun year and an exciting year, and they've been playing some great baseball at a lot of times this season.
Mr. McCarthy, this is Jason here. Are there any players in Portland or maybe Pawtucket that might be called up by the Red Sox and make an impact?
Yeah, right now in Pawtucket, pitching his first game as we speak is Brandon Workman, who's a 12th ranked prospect in the Red Sox organization by Baseball America. He was phenomenal for the Sea Dogs this year. I can't speak highly enough about the way he pitched for Portland before earning his call-up on Wednesday to Pawtucket. He's a guy who could probably pitch out of the bullpen for the Red Sox right now because of the way he pitches. He doesn't have the best stuff. Yeah, he's got good stuff, don't get me wrong. You know, you have to have good stuff to, you know, pitch at this level of baseball. But his mentality and his approach really sets him apart because he's fearless on the mound. He just goes right after hitters. He comes out and he throws strikes. It sounds simple, but he does it better than any pitcher I've seen this year. He attacks hitters, and he could pitch out of the bullpen for the Red Sox right now. And I would not be surprised to see Workman pitch for the Red Sox later this season in a bullpen role, in a long type role for the Red Sox. Also, Anthony Ronaldo, another college pitcher, has been outstanding for the Sea Dogs this year. He's well on his way to probably the Eastern League All-Star game. He's 6-1 with a 2.43 ERA. He could probably have an impact for the Sox later